Hello and welcome to the Success with Savitha podcast, where we share hot tips on how to do life and business without losing your mind. I'm your host, Savitha Nanjappa, entrepreneur, high-achieving 9-to-5er turned transformational success coach, helping you create a wildly successful business. Come hang out with me and other fabulous humans like you every week for stories and chats packed with a healthy dose of tips, resources, how-tos, and real talk. Side effects may include a happier and more confident you with each passing day. Hi and welcome back to my solo episodes. It's been a while since I've done some bite-sized solo episodes and I wanted to put that back onto the podcast. So I hope to be able to roll out solo podcasts, bite-sized episodes on a specific topic at least twice a month going forward. And today's bite-sized episode is about deep work. Why it's important, how does it help, how to get started, what is deep work? These are some of the questions that I want to answer. When they begin coaching with me, one of the first things that I make my clients do is to add or build deep work hours into their calendar, into their schedule. Because I know that when they are able to put those specific hours in, I know that it's always going to lead to results if it's actually followed. I want to begin by sharing with you the number one book on deep work, and this is the book written by Cal Newport. I highly recommend it. It is as iconic as Atomic Habits by James Clear and Miracle Mornings by Hal Elrod. It is a fantastic read, and if you really want to take your productivity to the next level, I highly recommend that you begin by adding deep work hours into your schedule. The book is called Deep Work, Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World, and you will find it on Amazon. The book is on my Kindle and I reference it quite often. So what is deep work? Cal Newport describes it best when he says this. He says, one of the most valuable skills in our economy is becoming increasingly rare. If you master the skill, you'll achieve extraordinary success. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's a skill that allows you to quickly master complicated information and produce better results in less time. Deep work will make you better at what you do and provide the sense of true fulfillment that comes from craftsmanship. In short, deep work is like a superpower in our increasingly competitive 21st century economy, and yet most people have lost the ability to go deep, spending their days instead in a frantic blur of email and social media, not even realizing there's a better way. In a nutshell, deep work is putting in those focused blocks of time into your daily routine, into your weekly routine. That will help you not just develop your focus, but also develop a high quality output for your work. It's going to be one of the cornerstones of your productivity and how you get things done. So now let's talk about what are some benefits of deep work. Based on research out there, here are some key things that deep work helps you achieve and you should keep in mind when you're considering putting deep work into your schedule. Number one, it results in high value creative output. Books don't get written and companies don't get built if you don't put in focused work. Nobody ever changed the world by checking email. Significant creative accomplishments require focus, consistency, good habits, and deep work. Deep work is ultimately what results in high value creative output. Whether you're writing a book, building the next great app, or making an iconic film, it requires deep work. The second thing or the benefit of deep work is it improves your ability to focus. It's like a muscle, which means that it must be built. The more deep work you do, the better your focus and better your ability to handle and focus on a cognitively demanding task for an extended period of time. You'll be able to go from just putting in an hour to 3 to 4 hours of deep work every day. It makes you more efficient as you put in more hours focused on specific tasks, doing consistently, chipping away. Of course, you're going to get things done. And that's a given. With deep work, everything on your to-do list actually gets done pretty effortlessly. Another benefit of deep work is that it makes you happier. Having so much distraction has done a pretty good job of making us feel dissatisfied because we constantly feel like we are not productive, we are not getting things done, we're procrastinating. But when we actually get things done, we feel happy, we feel satisfied, we feel like you've achieved something and you see progress, which really adds to that happier mindset. And deep work creates momentum. As you spend more time doing deep work, you'll start to pick up momentum, because the number of hours goes up, amount of content output goes up, the quality of your work goes up, your ability to focus goes up. So it's going to have a domino effect on your momentum. In his book Before Happiness, Sean Anker said, your brain makes progress towards a goal based on how close it thinks it is to that goal. If you've ever done something like, let's say, write a book or a big project, you'll notice that things go much faster later in the process. So those are some of the key reasons why deep work is going to be working for you. It's going to be working in your favor. And now I want to talk a little bit about how you can get started with this. You're convinced, you're like, I haven't tried this, I must do more of this, or I have tried it, but I need to increase that level of intensity. How should you get started? And for this, I will again borrow from Cal Newport. He's the guru of deep work. And one of the things that he says is to ritualize it. Begin by ritualizing anything. Once you make it a part of your habit, part of your routine, it becomes a ritual with you, then it stays with you forever. It's something that you will go to over and over and over again. So here are some things to keep in mind while you make deep work a part of your ritual. I'm not only just going to be sharing from Cal Newport, but I'm also going to be sharing things that have worked for me and how I got started with deep work hours. And then you can design your deep work hours in a way that works for you and is customized to your life. So let me share what Cal Newport says on things to keep in mind while you create this ritual, while you build this habit. Number one, there's no one correct deep work ritual. It really depends on the type of project, on the type of person that you are. But some things that you must keep in mind while you implement deep work is, number one, where will you work and for how long? What is this project you're going to be working on? Where will you be doing it and how long it might take you? So maybe you will start with 45 minutes and build that up as you go. You'll take a break maybe at 45 minutes or 15 minutes and then do another hour, or it really depends on how you break up your time blocks. So that's something to keep in mind, where you're going to work and how you do it. Maybe it's going to be your office with a clean desk, or you're going to go to a different place, sit down, work, go to a coffee shop, go to a quiet place, like how writers like to take off to a quiet place or do a writer's retreat because they're spending those many hours. Just focus on that one task. The second thing to keep in mind is how you'll work once you start to work, meaning your ritual needs some rules and you need to put in some efforts to keep it a little more structured. For example, you may turn off notifications, you may put your phone on airplane mode, you may let everybody know that you're not available during that hour. So that helps you keep your concentration in the right place while you're doing this work. And the third thing to keep in mind is how you'll support your work. You need to manage your energy. Maybe you sit down to work and then you feel like having a cup of coffee. You don't want to get up right in the middle of your deep work hour to get your coffee. Instead, you plan for it well in advance. So you're taking care of your energy. You're making sure you've had maybe exercise. You're not feeling exhausted in any way. You've had a meal or you have a snack, and then you are starting your deep work hour. One of the things that I recommend for myself when you get started or with clients is, if you've never done this before, start by adding 2 hours twice a week into your schedule. Because for a lot of people, this may feel like a lot, but start with 2 hours. So maybe put that into your calendar, and that's how you get started. And then slowly build that up into 3 to 4 times a week, finally till it becomes part of your daily routine, at least 1 hour every day or a couple of hours every day. So my recommendation is to begin with 2 hours twice a week, and then to take it up to 3 to 4 hours, and then after that be able to implement it every day that you want to work. I have another thing that I do. If I've not been able to do my deep work hours during the week, it gets busy, there's travel, something's happened, then I make sure that I schedule time on the weekend. This is not for everyone maybe, but I schedule time, let's say on a Saturday, where I clear out my schedule, I make sure my child is engaged, and I put in those 4, 5, 6 hours of deep work, or just to work on my projects, or just to work on specific things. And that really helps me feel like I'm on top of my game. I'm in control. I know what is happening. The more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. You want to become a better actor, you need to be able to act more. I'd also like to reference Malcolm Gladwell here when he said, it takes 10,000 hours of work to make you a genius at what you do. And again, that's going to come from putting in that many hours of deep work. This isn't the same as, let's say, hard work. This is about focused blocks of time, working on specific projects, working on specific things that's helping you move the needle forward on the things that you want to achieve, on the goals that you want to achieve. With that, I hope this bite-sized episode on deep work has been helpful for you. Let me know what your comments are. Leave us a review. Tell me what you think. Give me a 5-star rating if you like this episode. So go ahead and leave us a review and a rating, and I will see you soon with my next bite-sized topic. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you like this episode and you want more, you can go to the show notes on my website, which is successwithsavitha.com/podcast. If you like what you've heard so far, I would be grateful to you if you could leave me a 5-star review, subscribe to this podcast, and share with a friend who may find this useful. You can also follow me on my Instagram at successwithsavitha and DM me any questions you may have, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Until the next episode, believe in yourself and all the best to your success.